Hello and welcome to DevCast Ops. Tonight you have the full complement of me, Wale and James, and this evening we are going to be looking at setting up consoles in a similar vein that we did the other week when we were trying to set up Vault, but this week we're going to be setting up console again to Ansible, but we'll probably be delving a little bit more into the depths of the console setup, and Wale has taken the onerous task of driving this evening, so we got to see it through his perspective. So, Wyatt, if you want to take on and sort of explain what you're aiming to get out of this.
Yeah, so I am very new to Consul, so what I'm aiming to get out of is how to set it up, and then also hope. Obviously, I don't think we'll get further than that today, but for today, it's just setting it up using Ansible, and yeah, hopefully we finish there.
Confidence. This will fill up. We have Vault running in it by the end of it, yeah?
Yeah, why not? All right. I'm gonna share my screen. Yeah. So we're gonna start with firstly, let me introduce you to my inventory file. So in here, I have the 5 console servers and the clients. So bear in mind, I'm also new to Ansible. So as far as I know, this groups them all together. So then I can reference them as all later as well. But for now, I want to focus just on the servers. So here we go. So in the main.yaml file, I already have console, as in the name of the playbook, I guess. And then the console servers, which is those are the 5 servers I want to reach. And then become, as in become sudo, I think. That's what that's for, and that's true. And then the roles, I haven't got any defined yet, so I can get rid of that for now. But firstly, what I want to do first is test the connection. So in order to test the connection, I will, yeah. So basically, I'll just run the Ansible -- check. I think James preferred ping, but I don't know how that
use ping as well. So just put a task in and call it ping and ping them, but you can test it and give it a go with check, I guess.
Yeah, this works for me. As in when I was, eesh.
We can't see your terminal if you're sharing a terminal.
Oh, my bad. I need to remember to keep changing my terminal. All right, so as you can see, it tried to add, but I think
This key is not known
5
by.
of 10, 1, 2, 3, 19, 18, 24. So it's done.
What server failed? Do you know the server number?
120. So it's trying to go into 120, and 120 is part of this.
It's failed the SSH, so it doesn't like the key that you've got on that server.
It's
SSH key.
because is it because I tried early on already?
So you can see permission denied public key is the bit that's causing the actual error.
Can you just try SSHing to that IP?
SSH Ubuntu at. Ish. Yeah, that works fine. So
Try again.
yeah.
That's weird that it lets you in fine, but
All right. So now here again is that one unreachable, but then I can do yes with this. 123.
So is it because it's not like? Is it because it's not liking the fingerprint?
It's saying permission denied, public key, unreachable, true. Yeah. All right. So what I'll do is I think we cleared I'm not sure if it's still in this session. Yeah. So let me just check something. Oh yeah, that's let's see. Yes. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna clear this file and then see.
Well, you're not setting accept unknown hosts, are you?
What do you mean?
So Ansible can't really deal with this fingerprint stuff. So if you SSH to every host don't give it a usage, SSH to every host, so you get the fingerprint and then try on Ansible.
Wow. That's interesting. All right, let's do that then.
I feel like there's a smart way around that, but
yeah,
there is a flag you can give to Ansible to say don't check hosts.
Okay, let's find out. I think I'd rather do that. Ansible. Check host. So this here says no.
It's the strict host checking. There's a way of doing if you.
I just export.
Yeah, there's a way of doing it within the variables file, but I think it's that.
Host key checking might be what you want.
What did you say?
Host key checking might be what you want in a variable file in your Ansible config. Or you can set the environment variable Ansible underscore host underscore key underscore checking to false. Export that as an environment variable.
In the environment variable. So I said Ansible host key equal to false. Yeah, I already have that in the environment variable. So it just says unreachable, permission denied. Well, yeah, let me try that then for the first 5. Let's see what happens. See, SSH to.
No, you don't need to worry about the user. You just type in the code. We're not logging in. We're just getting the fingerprint.
All right, cool. Let's do that.
Oh, you're trying to log in as your user as well. You need to set the Ubuntu user, the Ansible user.
Could that be the reason then?
That'll probably be it.
Yeah. So we have.
I nearly got that far, and then I went down this thing, but I nearly made it so we all had our own user linked to our own SSH key.
Delete my old SSH key, so I need to set up a new one. But
you're not. You're just showing your terminal, Wale.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I need to remember to keep it. So
that's also going to be changing it just for that IP.
Yeah.
So the same line as hosts, you can call it vars, and then
you mean here,
right? Above hosts.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah. I mean the same indented level as hosts. So just under console servers, you can just set vars. No, but it has to be above hosts or beneath the IPs.
Yeah. All right. So what do you want me to put in here?
Vars.
Oh, okay. Vars.
Enter. Tab in. And then set the Ansible user.
And then should I just give it Ubuntu then?
Ubuntu, yeah.
All right. also need to
back on the terminal now and not showing.
Maybe use the terminal in Visual Studio Code.
I remember when we were doing Devil's Playground, it doesn't work well. But
This is the same terminal.
Let's see. Innit? All right, let's check. Where's the terminal? Go around terminal. Yeah, terminal.
We shouldn't have sent you to the other terminal window because now you flipped back.
But if you click the dot, now that's exactly the same terminal as what you were just on.
Yep. So this is good now. All right. So just need to write. All right. So PWD. Where are we? Oh wow! Come paste. There we go. Okay, let's hope this works. Ansible could not initialize. Wow, see, this would have been fine on the other one.
If you haven't closed the other one, you can try it.
Yeah, let's try it out. Okay. Yep, works fine. All right.
Okay.
So now we're connected. So the next step is, I think we need to
Consul.
set. Yeah.
Just one command, right?
Nah. Hold on. For that, I'll need to come in here, and I need to create task, right? I don't remember the task stuff.
Are you building it in a role?
Role is isn't it?
Can you flick back to the S for us?
Say what?
Flick back to the S for us.
Or share both, and then we can at least see both of them.
Oh, I haven't done anything. That's why. Sorry, I wasn't doing anything. So I was just quickly looking for Ansible docs. So, because what I wanted to do is install for the install part. Is it a? Ooh, I don't remember. I think don't I need to get the template file as well? No, actually no. I need to install first, as in just a binary needs to be installed on there.
It doesn't really matter the order, if I remember.
No, I guess just as long as you have everything by the time you hit start, you should be good.
All right. So let's do that.
I guess you'll need to install Consul before you do the config file or the certificates at least, because you'll need to generate an encryption key and certificates with Consul.
Okay. Install packages, maybe. So in here we'll have. So we installed for So for when we were setting up this server, we actually installed a few things. So I just need to remember. I think for this we can do Ansible built-in stuff. So that would be.
If you're trying to do like a yum install, yeah.
No, so because it's not yum, it's apt.
Doesn't matter. It's Ansible.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
really?
use packages. Packages wraps all of them. No.
Packages.
You want to type packages.
Okay.
Ansible.builtin.packages.
All right. Ansible. dot built in. Okay. And it figures out inside. I think 2. And then
I think the indentation of your name is wrong. You've got a space
Yeah.
before the. Yeah.
Shouldn't there be indentation like this and then maybe like that?
I think name should be not indented at all. So that should be against it, and then just one indentation for packages. Yeah, there you go.
And then name should then be something like this. Items. And then we have the items in here. Like unzip, I think. Oh yeah, sorry. Item. Okay, so unzip. What else do we need? For this one actually, because I remember how when we were installing Consul earlier, it was through curl, right? So, but for this one, what else do we need to install on top? I mean, on top of it to work?
I don't think
Just-
we need anything else.
Start with unzip and see where we go.
Alright, so let's do name. Install. Okay, that one we will do. I think it was releases. So
releases.hashcop.com, it's burned into my mind. Been doing upgrades recently at work, so I've been flicking between, and because everything takes so long, but from the time when we decided to upgrade to the time that we're actually upgraded, we've had 2 patch releases come out of the version, so
wow,
to go back and test 2 extra versions.
Nah. Link addresses. Linux ARM64.
We don't want ARM.
No, I always get confused between ARM and AMD, so I was second guessing myself there.
well, there's some very weird errors.
Oh, if you.
Yeah, because it's just like the binary is unreadable, which is like what?
Yeah, it just
Well, like
doesn't run.
But the binary isn't executable, I think, is the error, which is just it's a very weird issue.
I admire your dedication to typing up the full things, but you, with Ansible built-in packages, I don't think you actually have to write Ansible built-in beforehand.
No, you don't have to do it for any of them. It's good practice, though.
Oh. So what is it normally then?
You could
Just do the last bit.
get URL or packages.
Okay, I think I'll try that going forward.
I try very hard to write it all out if I can. But I think with this, it doesn't matter.
Also, I feel like my indentation is just.
If you think it's going to be a problem, there is there's like an Ansible in it, an Ansible lint extension and package that can be installed that will complain at all your minor issues.
I think it's working fine now because look, the colors are kicking in now. So.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah.
Right.
So the items might be indented wrong, but we'll see.
Again, which one?
I think the with items might be indented wrong. I think that should be the same level as name's correct. The with items should be one back.
Yes, I think you're right.
Oh, name was correct.
Yeah, name was correct.
Now move with items back 1, and then the 2 the
Underneath
unzip
it.
and the JQ as well. Because the with items is not specific to that Ansible task. It's a general Ansible thing. So it kind of sits at the same level as the definition as a general Ansible task.
Okay. So after downloading it, we now have to move it into a path.
You need to unarchive it.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Is it? Oh, okay. So I think that will be another task. So name unzip zip console. And then now I want to try out what you said. So, but how do I tell it?
It's called
Sorry, what?
unarchive.
It's just called unarchive. So the Ansible
Unarchive.
built-in .unarchive or just unarchive.
All right, like that. And then what would it be then? So do I say, because I need to give it
You
this
need,
source, right?
yeah, source and it's SRC. Is it?
Oh.
Anytime source, it's SRC.
That's all. And destination stays the same then.
Yeah, I think so.
So it would be TMP dash. Oh, this is going to be interesting. So here, for example, I'm calling it console, so I should probably do control.zip.
Yep.
So then I can do like that. And then the destination we want would be that path thing.
Use a local bin.
Yeah, I was just going to do echo and then just get it's this one.
Yeah.
And then just use a local bin and then console. And this should be it. All right, so now that we've moved it in, no, we've unzipped it into the right location actually. I think that's it for now. In terms of it working.
Your unarchive is wrong.
No way.
You don't need to put console in the dest.
Oh, so.
And you don't need the final forward slash either.
All right.
Now, if you run that, you should have console installed on these servers.
All right.
And
I think that's
the source for unarchive rather than the source.
Say again.
Oh yeah, you need to remote source true.
Where? Sorry.
New line.
Sorry, both of you are talking at the same time. I don't understand what you're saying.
Click enter.
Yeah.
Remote underscore src : true.
Or yes, if you have strong opinions either way.
Ansible linting says it's true.
What does this remote SRC do?
It's saying that the source file you're looking for is on the server already and not stored locally. So you could download Ansible onto the machine that you're running. You could download the Consul binary onto the machine that you're running this from, and it would copy it from your machine to unarchive it from your machine onto the server.
I think when I looked into the archive a little bit the other day, I think the source for an archive can also be a URL. Like I think these two blocks could be one block, but I think this is cleaner.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to run it?
Actually, I just remembered there is also the the directory where the console.d file.
Yes.
I would like to do that as well. Create that console.d file, and then I'm good. And create console directory. All right. So now, what is that one? File
It's file.
or just file, not folder?
File.
File. Okay.
Folders are not a thing in Linux.
No.
Everything's files.
So it'll be path then, I guess. And then, so but what's the path that I think is this one my choice then, in terms of where I want it to go?
I mean,
Yeah.
technically,
Or what's the HashiCorp recommended
Normally etc slash
etc
yeah.
and then console?
doddy,
.d.
because it's a daemon.
And then I know for this one, we have to, what's the state for? Can I do the state where it says I tell it it's a directory? Or do
Yeah,
I not
it's
need to
state colon directory.
do it? Okay.
Really should be owned by a console user as well.
Oh
But
yeah,
we haven't
should make
yeah, then that means we should create a console user.
and then
Right.
the group should be console, and the mode should be 400,
Depends if you want
440.
reversible.
Gmod 0745. What does that do?
5 is global, traversable, and readable. I think.
Nope.
No, traversable is the first number.
Isn't traversable traversable for a directory is just whether it's executable by that user is considered traversable. So having the final bit is traversable is world traversable or all user traversable.
I mean, I suppose, should all users have access to the console directory?
Probably not.
And while I do, I don't know, 550, sorry.
So this will just be for this user then.
This is such a bad idea. No, the first byte should be 7. No, it should be 7 or 6. Because
to write.
Do 0750.
All right. I'm gonna just use this to create the user in here as well, or should I create a separate file for that?
Whatever you desire.
All right, cool. I'm just trying to find out what the recommended way would be. Great. And so
I think anytime I've done it, I've created a new role, and trying to make it generic enough that when I need to use the same code tomorrow, I can just copy and paste the folders.
yeah.
Though I looked, you can use the remote roles are a thing. So you could actually have a Git repo that has the like create user stuff and the TLS stuff that you're like, like multiple things I do need the same roles, so I'll just have a directory of them.
All right, so group is created. User is also created.
You don't need to do state. You don't need to do state present.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't that help to do the check, like to make sure it's created before it moves on, or is that?
If you don't specify, it assumes present is the desired state.
Oh, okay. So this is just
which it's declarative language. It's not always the worst thing in the world to declare everything. But...
Okay.
Do you want to run it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, this thing saves autosave, isn't it? So
yeah.
All right. So
easy
here we go. All right. Without the check, should we just go for it?
Okay, we go.
Yay!
Oh yeah, guess what? I'm guessing you guys know what I did, right?
Yeah.
I assume you forgot to add any roles.
Yeah, I forgot to tell my main file that
Easiest thing to do.
I need roles.
It succeeded though. You didn't fail.
Yeah. It's all green. That's what we wanted.
Amazing.
Just here for the green lines.
It was Consul.
I'm intrigued to see if this works.
I
It should work.
think it
Is there?
should.
Wait, can we do LinkedIn first? As in link the to check if you. Do you know how you can do Terraform validate?
Yeah,
I
you can
recently
install.
made
It's a separate package, but there is an Ansible into. I think. I don't know if you have to install it separately.
Yeah, because
It's
right
it's,
now,
it's Ansible -lint is what you want. I don't know whether it's just installed by default.
let's try it. Ansible -lint, yeah.
No, one word. Sorry, one. There's no
Oh.
space.
Try this. Nope, it's not.
It is pip. Yeah, so pip install Ansible lint. The same way you pip installed.
Let's do pip3 install.
Ansible -lint.
You're slightly better than me. It's just alias pip to the one I want.
I do the full Python -mpip every time.
You know, when we're setting up the image for this, we actually did it with Python-m.
and for Docker files, you should be as specific as possible.
There you go. Doesn't like what? Values are not allowed in this context. In line 10, column 28.
What?
10. In here, line 10. Says it doesn't like what?
You've got a second colon.
Oh, yeah, colon at the end of group. And for users as well.
Line 10.
No,
Yeah.
line 10. No,
Yep.
no.
Put those
No.
colons back. 10 and 14, you've got extra colons.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yes.
Then
Well,
you should be blue.
that makes sense now. Well, let's see. See, it's a good thing that we got this fast, isn't it?
There is a VS Code extension that hooks into that, but I don't know how well that will link with the VDI verse console
that we're using currently.
Yeah, it's probably not worth worrying about. Yeah, run it. See what happens.
Does this do the formatting for you or not? Ooh, what does this mean?
It's YAML. Ooh. Trailing
great.
spaces.
Why can it not help me correct it? Forbidden implicit. It doesn't like this value here. 0750 y 075. Does it want this?
Because it should be in quotes.
Well, it's numbers though. But is it because it starts with a 0?
And
then this one, too many blank lines on line 39.
So you should only have one blank line at the end of a file, whereas you have 3 extra. Yeah, you're in the mode of linting now. This isn't format. This isn't your like pansy formatting. This is the like. These are the standards.
Oh yeah. Trailing spaces, line 4. We on line 4 we have trailing spaces. Where?
So at the end of the colon, it says there should be a space. No.
There should be because I don't have spaces for the other ones. Yeah, let me show you.
Is it on this all file or is it another all file?
Yeah. YAML.
That's the inventory.
Oh, inventory.
You got 2 inventories.
Oh, okay. And then let me make sure there's no more trailing spaces.
I mean, linting would tell you.
Yeah, I just didn't kind of avoid it in it. All right, so we got that. What's next? Line 8. I think I corrected that as well. No, I didn't.
Line 22, you need to add a new line to the end of that file.
New line. That's it. Wait, I thought. It just doesn't want a lot of it.
You want one new line at the end of your file, and then
Okay.
you're missing an uppercase letter.
All names should start with uppercase letter in main. Main.yaml. So here you go. I did this by accident. That's fine.
First time I ran linter on my code, it was like, oh, you need to make everything an uppercase letter. It was not fun.
I think I ran linting, looked at it and went, I can't be bothered, because there was some been code that had been written for over the course of a few months, and there was, I think, around like 500 things it wanted to correct, and I was like, nope.
It's where little and often for linting's important.
Yeah.
And then forcing it, so having your Git pipeline force linting, because always no one lints. No one likes to lint.
Yeah, I'm starting to see why. I don't like it.
But now you know what it wants, you'll start writing better code because you'll be writing it to standard.
I think what I prefer to do is build a fixer that just formats it for me.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I'm hoping for. Like the Terraform format FMT does the job. Doesn't have that here.
There'll be a Python, an Ansible library or a Python library out there that does exactly that. Ansible is a widely enough used tool that someone would have built this.
Probably.
Ansible. Oh, there you go. See, and it's here actually. Like, but none of them is for.
This is just VS things for syntax highlighting.
Yeah. All right, that's fine. Anyways, are we happy to carry on then? Or should I still try and fix this? Because I still got some errors actually. So here it says no new line at the end of all the YAML in Consul. No new line for inventory as well.
Another training space.
But I'm pretty sure I did. So for Consul here, I have a new line. And then for inventory, I have a new line as well.
It probably isn't like the spaces.
It doesn't like all the spaces.
Oh. All right. Let's do that. Yeah.
So 22 on inventory in your inventory.
Inventory, what?
22, I think you had a trading space it was complaining about.
Nope.
22.
Oh, 22, sorry. Yeah, no. There's nothing.
23.
Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. Are we ready?
Yep.
All right. Let's go. They better not fail now. Oh, guess what? The usual.
You still didn't put the roles in.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's
no, I did. I did.
Yeah, it's the folder structure. I'm guessing it doesn't like.
Yes, you need a roles folder with the console in.
Yeah.
And then a tasks folder within that. So it should be console
role?
projects, roles, console, tasks, main.yaml.
Okay, role. Did I just so roles like this?
Yep.
And then I'll move everything in there.
Then console.
So I can move. There you go.
And then within Consul, you want a tasks
Folder of folder.
folder. And then it all goes into tasks.
It needs to be renamed main.
So roles, console, tasks, main.
Yep.
Wow.
Then you run it.
That's crazy.
Yay!
Oh, you're happy about that? Couldn't resolve module action once with built-in packages. Doesn't like the packages. The error appears to be in the but maybe elsewhere.
You probably miss.
It says here name install packages.
You've probably spelled it wrong.
Ansible built in. All right, let's check it out.
Oh, it's package. Sorry, not packages.
Oh. Package, yeah?
Yep, just without the S.
Well. Okay. See, oh, and the Ansible lint doesn't validate that then? It doesn't validate the for.
Why would it? That's not linting.
Yeah, I want actual Ansible.
You want to validate? You need a validator.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to go back to terminal so we can see one?
Yeah. On it.
I feel like you're just missing components of Terraform at the moment.
Oh.
Weird, every time I look this way, I can see my own screen again as well with you guys. Just like, all right.
It's running.
Yeah. How many terminals can I have open? Because while this is working, I was going to open another terminal.
I think you can have as many as you want.
So I can SSH into one of them to see what's been done.
Yeah, I don't think.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyways, I could use this one for now. I think 120 was 0, so let's try that. All right.
Yes, 120 0.
Yeah.
It's 118 didn't take 0.
I don't think they connected to DHCP or were created in the order in which I gave them the IPs. Because I just did a for each. I just did a for each loop in Terraform, so it was kind of the difference between the Terraform for each and the order it actually spun up.
All right, we have Consul installed, and then do we also have hello maybe? Oh, hello works perfect. Hello, ETL. Yeah, that wasn't smart, but
Mission died.
Oh well, that's fine. As long as it's there.
If you go sudo su console, you can then do it. Or yeah, sudo su console, you can do it on.
Should be able to do like this as well.
Yes, or you can.
I just want to see the internet anyways.
That.
He's a console user, right? So, and then CD.
Type bash before you do anything else.
That was bad. That was terrible.
No one needs to run in SH.
Why not? Good. It's good practice.
Doesn't do the nice things that the bash does for us.
Right. So that's everything we set up that we wanted it to do. So the permission part of it, yeah, it's fine as well, I think. So if I do CD,
If when you're in the directory you run ls-la, it gives you all that information of its
For
current
while I'm
directory.
in there.
Basically the dot.
Say again?
It gives you the dot. It gives you the. You can see the tier above and you can see the permissions on it.
All right. So, all right. So, what did we install? Yeah. Oh, JQ and unzip as well. I think that's
Well,
everything.
it would have failed if unzip wasn't installed, and JQ
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll find out later if it's worked or not.
Oh, it
Like
worked.
we've made it writable and executable, but not readable for the group.
Oh,
No, it's readable and executable.
Readable? Oh yeah.
The you can write but can't read is I understand why that permission exists. It's just such a weird permission.
Just fire into that black box and hope for the best.
Yeah, you can write this file but you can't read it.
now I think this is where we need to now worry about the template files, right? For service.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. So let me get rid of this. No. All right. So now, and that will go inside tasks as well, or
Yeah.
It goes inside console. Well, you need
no,
to
inside
test.
row. Oh,
What are you doing?
so I want to create the services file, the one that goes into system D.
Do you want to create a templates directory that should sit at the console level? So the same level as tasks, you'll have roles, console, and under console you have tasks and then templates.
All right, so folder templates.
Yeah.
All right. And then in here we will have the
console.service.j2.
Yeah, probably a console dot conf console.htl for a config as well.
oh
Yeah.
Call it.
Quite a lot of times they
in here though, because in here when I'm moving it onto the server, that's when we change it to console.service, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the service.j2 here.
J2, right? This.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Quite a lot of times when I've looked at the console docs, it recommends you having multiple config files.
Yeah, I think we have it set up. That's what I've set up. So we have sort of a config file which is common across all our servers, and then we have a server config and a client config that are different, and then just deploy those wherever. So if you need to update something that's common to everything, you just update the common config file or the common config template, and then you update the server and client one. So
Like this as well, then.
It should be .j2 if it's in the template file.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. All right, so those are the two files we need. But do you know how I can get this service file? Earlier on, I was trying to look for it on the actual.
I have one somewhere.
Do I have it? Nope.
As I have deployed console before, it'll be somewhere.
Somewhere.
Speed base. Wait, no.
I thought I had it as well.
That
I
one.
don't. No way.
Yep.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Yeah. this is the service file. So, all right. So what we have in here is console image resolution requires condition etc. Yep, that's perfect. I'm just need to remember to add it in here. And then local bin console. That's how we started. The config directory is also its config D. Perfect. All right, this is fine. The next one is the HCL file. So, do I have that one? HCL. I think I actually found that one on here.
My PC keeps changing its clock time, and it's infuriating.
Do you have any ideas why?
It's because I keep going back between Ubuntu and Windows. And when I do, Ubuntu changes the time zone. But the time's right when I'm on Ubuntu. It's just when I come back to Windows, it doesn't count daylight savings.
Yeah. Yeah, we should abolish daylight savings. Then you just stop faffing around with 2 times over the course of the year.
Yes, I agree.
All right. So we have console server, but because there will be 5 of them, should I put something in here that gives it the name, or can they all be the same name? And I got this from the. Sorry, what?
Node needs to be server unique, I believe. So you need to put a variable from the server one there.
Okay.
Which I think you can just do Ansible host inventory hostname.
Yeah, I'll just give it.
So you mean maybe like this, and then
You need 2 more curly brackets.
oh, okay. Does it care about spacing, like in the middle and then like this, or?
That's how you should do it. Your linting will like that.
Oh, okay. All right. So what should we call it? Server.
I think it's Ansible _ hostname. Or it may be inventory _ hostname. I can't remember.
Let me just Google that. Ansible template.
What am I doing for mine?
So, what did I call it here? Ansible host name. So I want to use the host name. So
I don't think in my example I've got set up, I used the node name.
Yeah, I don't know if it. I think it will just give them names potentially if you don't have it in there. I don't know if it's a required bit of the config.
Well, I'm not using it.
Doesn't this do it? So template _ host contains the node name of the templates machine.
Yeah.
All right.
That may work.
Okay. So I got this one from their website. So server is true. Bootstrap, I don't know what that one does, but it's true as well. UI config, we want UI. Data center, isn't this an enterprise thing then? If I'm saying this. So that's fine then. And then this one, console data, data directory, where I want. So in this case, I think I should create data / console file. data, right?
op/console dot data is slash op/console dot data is quite a common place to keep it, but
Slash what?
Opt. OPT.
slash
Right. Console slash data?
Yeah.
Or data slash console?
console/data.
Which is another
then
directory
log.
you now need to create.
Yep, I'll go do that in a minute. And then the log level info addresses, we're gonna leave that. And this one I don't need to do TLS false, right?
No, you can leave it as for now. See what happens.
All right. Okay, so let's go create the file. What am I creating? So we're creating APT console data. So can I do multiple actually while I'm creating the folder?
With your directories, yeah, you could do under your console directory, you could do with items.
Yeah, okay, let's do that. Where is it? File, yeah. And then here would be
No, that's fine. You just put with items at the bottom.
oh, at the bottom, okay. So it will be here like this.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Now I'm getting this.
I assume you installed the
Yeah.
extension.
And then
Is there a way of telling it to be recursive?
I can't remember.
okay. Oh, you mean in regards to this, right? Because of console and then data.
Yeah, you want recurse. Oh wait, is that going to make them?
Okay, I can do it like this.
What happens.
I can just do it like this, right?
Yeah.
I think you might be okay with the /data, but give it a go.
No, so it'll. I think you need to create them all, or you need to use the recurse thing that will set it to all the directories in the chain, which means we'll be setting everything to be owned by the console user, which was like a bad idea. All right, run it. Oh, we need to do template stuff.
Wait, what do you mean? We have the template, right? Oh
yeah,
no,
you know, to do something with them.
yes.
As much as we are hitting the hour, maybe nice to quickly get the template files in.
All right, let's do that. I don't know how to do that one though. So name, name is
I'd do this as separate tasks rather.
Again?
Do them as separate tasks probably best. So,
for this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just keep. You're doing it right. Just don't try and do them with the with items block. Just do them as two separate tasks. So have
like this, right?
Yeah.
Config task.
So as you start having to deal with your with items being a dictionary and everything gets more complicated, and the only reason to do that is I had to move 20 files with Ansible. So I just did a massive map of like source to dest and just like have the tiny little thing at the top.
I feel like it's very easy to make Ansible code very unreadable by just having things in different directories. So they all map together, and it may be the most efficient way to write it, but it gets real confusing. Template file, or is it just file?
It's template. Ansible built-in template. Is
Okay,
just template.
Oops.
Time out.
Wow. Template. And then again, that's at source, right?
Source, yep.
Yeah. And then here will be test as well. Okay, good. All right, so in here, do I really need to specify? Because you will know already, so I can just give it a name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would just be Consul. This is the config file. So actually, it's server /config dot HCL. Wasn't it the and then the destination? Can I rename it in the destination or?
Yep.
Yeah. And you probably want to because your service file is looking for, I think, just config.hcl.
Okay, so in this case now, this is the HCL config, so we want it to be this actually.
Yeah.
And then -config HCL. And then this one is template. It doesn't know, it doesn't give me the autocomplete for that one.
If you did the answer would have built in, it might, but it's possibly too far down.
Yeah. Doing E after console, don't know why. Service A2, and then destination, we want it to be
It's -etc.
/etc. Wait, no, is it?
This is a
Oh.
system file. We have to put in
Yeah.
systemd folder. So it's etc/systemd/system/console.service.
/system/
console.service.
Right, that's it.
One more block. We need to work one more block, and then we have a basic console server up and running.
All right, what is the one block? What's we did? We've added the template.
We need to start the service.
Yes, we need to start it. All right. In order to start, start console. I think I remember this baby. And this one, would I just do run?
Systemd.
Oh, systemd. All right. And then it would be run.
Name. Name. Console.
Really? Oh,
So
well.
really, we should be using handlers. We can worry about that later.
Okay.
And then state, you want it to be restarted.
So now
restarted.
Why restarted?
So if we need to change something, it'll restart it. This should be a handler for now. It's fine. You need to change it enabled to true.
All right.
And then you need to do a daemon. You need to set daemon reload to true as well.
-reload or just reload?
Underscore reload. And now if you run it, it will hopefully work. And we'll have 5 individual console servers all spun up in perfect unison.
Wait, auto join.
Let's worry about that next week.
It's a little bit fiddlier than you'd initially think with Ansible.
I reckon we could easily spend another hour doing auto join.
Yeah.
Certainly if we want to do it with certs and getting the key set up and stuff. We can't see your terminal if you're on your terminal.
Yeah, no, I was just clearing it first. All right, are we ready? Boom. I didn't create new rows, did I?
Nope.
No, I did everything the same way.
Damon doesn't like console, start console. It doesn't want to start console. Daemon reload. For the plan include daemon re-exec, daemon reload. What did that?
You probably spelled it wrong. Just copy and paste
Yeah,
it.
I did.
Oh, it's AE. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to write it, man. All right, let's try again. But note I didn't try the linting because trying to save time.
Uh,
Oh,
Yeah.
no way. We can't check, right? We don't have the UI.
You can log in and you should be able to ping console.
Oh, let me just do system. What was it again? System
TTL status console.
TTL status console. Yep. Is it? Oh, failed. Inactive. No way.
condition was not met.
Console. Let's check out this file. Condition file not empty. So you want to tell me you can't find it?
You won't have access to that.
Good restraint, changing to the console user, not just a root.
Oh. No way. Oh yeah, log. Yeah. Okay.
One's called config, one's called console.
That makes sense. So so this one is called console. The ACL. Shouldn't it be just be can we? Is it not easier to just call it config so it's easier to know?
Yeah, change it in the source directory.
They just have to be the same.
Yeah.
Just make sure you change it in 2 locations in the service file.
Yeah. So console. Nope, not here. Wait, where else was it been? Console D. Yeah, this is it, right?
We can't see the Ansible.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And in config just goes to the directory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think this is it.
That'll work. Run it.
Right. I just exit and then exit and then exit.
We're not on your terminal.
Yeah.
So.
And then boom.
This is where having the reload at the bottom is really nice, because otherwise we would have had to like manually restart the service.
Oh, okay. Because that
if
one
you just said started, it wouldn't change.
It will just start. Okay, makes sense.
Actually, it probably would change.
Yeah, because the console service wasn't running.
If you want to see something fun, I should just be able to do this. Ta-da!
Wait, what? Hold on.
I don't know what that looks like on the stream, but
it looks great.
It looks okay. This might be a little hard to pick out the individual windows. You can see there's a console UI open. Can't really read what Wale is typing though.
Oh yeah, I will stop sharing.
All right, so we can see it's active, but yeah, we can't see the UI unless somebody.
If you want to prove that it's up and running, you can run console ACL bootstrap, and that'll bootstrap your console service with the ACL permissions.
Oh, okay. Let's try it. What did you say?
Console ACL bootstrap. No, we didn't enable ACL in the config file. Forgot about that.
Nope. Well, okay. I think that's good. That's probably a good point to end on.
Yeah,
still more work to do.
We know
pick up next week and get it into an actual cluster working together.
Yep. Okay.
Sounds good.
Does anyone have any closing remarks before we sign off?
Forget how long-winded all this stuff is.
Yeah. It was easier setting this up using Vagrant. So I guess because also I automated things, so I didn't have to remember a lot of things. But today made me realize, And this is just the beginning. We haven't even started using the console yet. This is just the setup.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm. All right. Look out for part 2.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Follow on Twitch, like and subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you next week. Well, hopefully we'll get this into a sort of semi-working state.
Bye.